Hey everyone, Spuffles here. I'm going to do something a little bit different today and do a fun story time. I'm going to be talking about my experience on Neopets, specifically when my first ever account got hacked and it got frozen, which basically means that I'm no longer to access the account and it's pretty much gone forever. So yeah, story time. Alright, let's start at the beginning. So back in 5th grade, for me it was like 2002, 2003, some of the students in my class found out about this virtual pet website called Neopets. So basically we had a computer class that we were like allowed to have some free time in. So the students, introduced other students to Neopets, and it was like the biggest thing in the class, and like little old 10-year-old me was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So of course, when I went home, I made my own account, and then I basically got started on Neopets. I played like almost every single day. I'd go on the computer with my mom and I'd be like, Mom, I gotta play with my Neopets. I gotta make sure that they're not hungry. So basically everyone was like, oh my god, yeah, Neopets is great. So I got started when I was 10 years old basically, and like I was so naive back then. I fell for like, the repost this, 10 times on the Neo boards and you get like a fairy paintbrush. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. Something even worse happened. Like I got a few warnings because, when you're a kid, you're pretty gullible. So you end up posting, on the Neo boards if someone says, oh yeah, you can totally get a fairy paintbrush if you like post this spam message like 10 times on 10 different boards. But, oh, by the way, the reason why I was able to post on the Neo boards was that my mother actually faxed in, like, a permission slip to Neopets because, 10-year-old me, when they asked me what my birthday was, I definitely could not lie to them. So the Neopets knew I was like 10 years old, and my mom faxed in the permission slip so I could go on the Neo boards when I was like 10, 11, 12. Because if you're under 13, then you're not allowed to go in the Neopets chat boards. So I asked my mom to help me out with that, and she was like, sure. Anyways, so fast forward a few years, I'm playing on Neopets religiously every day. Like, I come home from school, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta play on Neopets. So basically, at this point, I am done with elementary school. I'm in middle school right now, and Neopets isn't as popular, but it's still pretty popular with, like, my friend group. And some of the girls in my friend group, they wanted to do account sharing, which is a horrible idea. But when you're 12 years old and one of your best friends says, oh yeah, I can totally help you with Neopets. I can play games for you when you don't want to play them. Or like, I'm better than you at like certain games and you're better than I am at other games, so we can help each other out. Little old naive me, I was like, all right, I can do this. I'll try it out. So I shared my account information with this girl from my class, and for the first month or so, it was pretty good. We did games for each other. We helped each other get like secret avatars and everything. Everything was alright, but then one day I noticed that a bunch of Neopoints were missing from my bank account, and I was like, this is very suspicious because I didn't take anything out. And that was before they made pins, because now you can have like your password, and then you can have a pin number, like a 4-digit number, and you can't take out like Neopets, or you can't like, you can't take out Neopoints, and you can't abandon your Neopets and if you don't know the PIN number. So they have that in place now. They didn't have that back then. So basically back then, my friend decided it'd be funny to clear me out. I confronted her about it, and then after a while, we sorted things out. But fast forward like another few months, and I was on my account. It was like one of the weekends, I'm just chilling, playing on Neopets, and then I noticed that my account is randomly frozen, and I was like, yo, what happened? And back then, when, you know, the Neopets team actually had like staff members that did stuff, they told you the reason why your account was frozen. And the reason why mine was frozen was that it had been self-frozen, which means that basically the user of the account goes to the deactivation page and they close down your account. So basically, I obviously didn't do it because, you know, I was so into Neopets. Even if I don't play, like, I'm not going to delete my account because it has a lot of memories. But, you know, someone else decided that it'd be fun to delete my account. Now, back then, since there's actually staff members who, you know, were on the site, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because now, like, people are waiting literally a year to get one ticket, like, resolved on Neopets because they did a massive layoff a few years ago after they switched owners. So, I'm not going to get into that, but basically back in the day there were a lot of staff members and they were pretty good about, you know, talking to people who had had their accounts compromised. So I talked with one of the staff members, I filed a ticket, and they told me that it was self-frozen. Now in that ticket, I told them it wasn't me who self-froze. I said, oh yeah, it must have been my cousin who was like on my computer, and then, you know, they froze my account. And basically they gave me my account back, but I was stupid because I didn't like change my password again after that. And even though like I got my account back for like one day, like a few hours later it was frozen again. It was self-frozen and they changed the password. Thankfully, one of the girls wanted to help me out in our friend group, so she said, yeah, they changed your password to like to this random word, and that she gave me the new password, so I went in the account and then they said, yeah, you're self-frozen. Sorry, this was the second time this has happened. We are not giving you your account back. So basically, that's my story of how my first ever Neopets account was frozen. I wanna give you guys a warning. Don't ever share passwords with anyone, not even your best friends, because when they get bored, they'll probably mess with your accounts. Just make sure that like you have a very secure password and you don't share it with anyone, because, you know, people using your trust against you, it's just, it's really bad. But yeah, that was my story about my first ever Neopets account and how it got frozen. That's what they call it on Neopets. If your account is like disabled, then they call it frozen or iced. But yeah, do you guys have any fun Neopet stories? I'd love to hear about them. Thankfully, I'm still on Neopets though, because my mom had an account that I made after my first one, so like my mom's account is now technically like my account. So I'm still on Neopets. Yeah, I'm still having fun and I'm never gonna share my password again. Don't share your password, guys. Just don't do it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you like my cosplaying, or you like Animal Crossing, or you want to hear me talk about Neopets more, feel free to subscribe and comment and like let me know. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing night.